us. Then Mr. Ambassador Atta, who was our High Commissioner in Zimbabwe during Muhammad's time.
Haruna?
Haruna, yes. Haruna was my mate.
At Navrango?
Yes. Haruna also raised his hand. He said he won't write. Then this person raised his hand and said, we won't write. Then the thing was aborted. So they went back to Navrango town and now realized that the situation was bigger than they had anticipated. So they came back. Now with full force. We were in the dormitories and people started shouting, they will come to me first. The police are coming. So I give order that everybody should come out. They came out. I said everybody should, we formed a chain. Locked our hands like this so that we would not run. If they shoot, we should be killed. So we formed a long chain. And the police were advancing, we were also advancing towards them. They had to give up and go back to this. And then the following morning, the regional minister then was termed regional chief executive. He was from Boku, one of the Mampurisi people, 𝗺𝗳𝗃𝗀𝗃. He came there and then assembled us and said that, you know, we were causing confusion in the school. So he had come to close down the school. No, he had come to suspend some bad nuts who were being used by politicians to cause confusion in the school, which was false because me, I had no contact with any politician. Number one, John Ndebugri. And then 𝗪𝗪𝗃 𝗪𝗃𝗀𝗃 woke up from among the crowd and said, no.
He was also your mate?
Yes. 𝗪𝗪𝗃 got up from the crowd and challenged the regional chief as a minister that no. And I said, hey, I turned and said, my friend, be careful. He said, no. And then the police tried to rough him up, and then 𝗺𝗪𝗃𝗪𝗃 said, no, they should leave him, they should leave him. So he called our names, 6 of us, including Atta, that we had been suspended indefinitely. We should leave the school. So we went out, and I went to him. I crossed him, and I said, I don't understand. He said, if I don't understand, I should come to his office the following day.
So you, Haruna Atta?
Myself, Haruna Atta, one John Ayaya. He was social welfare officer at Boku. He has retired. He's now at Sandema. There's one Tapang who was, he came from a different school to sixth form. He's from 𝗵𝗃𝗀𝗃 chief's son. Then there's Shamrock. He's now some chief. He was district chief executive at Zabzugu area there, by his Dagomba. Then the sixth person, Basman Ali. Basman Ali has been in London all these years. When I was MP, I used to go there. You come and drive me about and so on. So 6 of us were suspended. So we went home. Then the following day, I went back to Bolga to see 𝗺𝗪𝗃𝗪𝗃 because he had asked me to come and see him. I got there, I was about to go upstairs, and he himself came down. He said, yes, I'm going to the school to close it down because after you people were suspended, these people started breaking with things and said they didn't allow peace in the school. So he was going to close down. So he went and closed down the school. Because that night, Avoka and others organized and there was great confusion in the school. Nobody could sleep. The teachers couldn't sleep. Students didn't sleep. So he went and closed down the school. Now, we were there. Then they called me. They had a hint that I knew the person who wrote those placards that led to all this. So they called me secretly, I alone, to the office with the regional director of education, the headmaster, and some others. Then they said that they knew that I knew the person who wrote the posters which led to all this confusion. So if I agreed to tell them the person who wrote the posters, they would let me come back to school. And I said, no, I don't know the person. I don't know the person who wrote the posters. Yeah, I mean, if I knew the person, when I was taking objection to writing the sample handwriting people, I would have told you that after all I know the person. So I don't know the person. They did everything and I refused to. I refused to reveal the person. And I never revealed to people until the person died. So now I was free to mention his name. He was my own uncle. From Temonde, he was 1 year behind me.
So
Emmanuel
why did you not tell?
I was protecting him.
Okay.
I was protecting him. I was not about to, you know, endanger his future by giving him up. So we were eventually just dismissed. And our names were published in the Daily Graphic at that time, so that we won't get any school anywhere to go. Then one young teacher who had just finished sixth form, and he had come and was teaching lower classes. And, you know, because he had just finished sixth form, and we were also sixth formers, so we were almost colleagues. So he called me to his bungalow and said, "Nde, do you know, don't mind these people. I'll let you take some forms. There's a course in 𝗃𝘃𝗀𝗃𝗀𝗏 University. There's a science course there. If you don't go to sixth form, you can go there. If you left upper six, you can go for 1 year, and you will just go to start the degree course. If you are from lower six or from 5, you go for 2 years, then you will start the degree course." So he got me the forms. And then, because of my good grades, I applied. I was admitted to the science department in 𝗃𝘃𝘀𝗃𝗀𝗏 University. Got there.
So you did BSc science?
Yeah, no. I got there, and then I started, the course was called Preliminary Science.
Okay.
Yes. Preliminary Science 1, Preliminary Science 2. I went to Science 1 because I was from, more or less from senior high, from school certificate. So at that time, before the faculty would start, the academic board would call the students one by one and interview them and apprise themselves of your conduct and your smartness. So they looked at my results. The dean himself was chairing the meeting. He said, "Look at the results. Professor Dodson, he has died. May he rest in peace." He said, "Mr. Ndebugre, why? You know, with these grades, why didn't you go to sixth form and you applied for this course?" And I started laughing. He said, "Why are you laughing?" I said, "Well, I went to sixth form. I must be very frank with you. I went to sixth form. I was in lower six." And then what happened? I was laughing still. They said, "Oh, so I think you let this." He said there was some demonstration in the school. And I said, "Oh, and you were the ringleader. So because of that, you were sacked. Don't mind them. Up here, we have academic freedom. So you go and do your course." So I went. Now, I thought of doing medicine first. And then I realized that I cannot stand blood. People think that I'm a very hard person. I can't stand blood. When they are doing surgery and they are showing it on the TV,
you don't watch.
In the theater, I go to a different channel. So I realized too early that I couldn't be an effective doctor. So I abandoned that. And my ambition was to go to MIT, Massachusetts Institute of Technology in the US, to do engineering. So that I even wrote in my room at Temonde, you know, MIT is my ambition and so on. So I was working towards that. So I wasn't prepared to remain in 𝗃𝘃𝘀𝗃𝗀𝗏 because President Nkrumah established 𝗃𝘃𝘀𝗃𝘀𝗃 University as a teaching university.
So you didn't want to teach?
Yes, I didn't want to teach. So while I was doing that course, internal course, I was studying for the A-level privately. So I came to write the exams, the A-level exams privately. And they were clashing. I remember that I was having a mathematics paper in town, I mean 𝗃𝘃𝘀𝗃𝘀𝗃 town as a private student, A-level. And I was having physics practicals in 𝗃𝘃𝘀𝗃𝘀𝗃 University. And that day it rained heavily in the afternoon. So I used 30 minutes to do the physics practical. And I gave the paper to say, "Hey," it was so I left. And I did it. I mean, I knew what I was doing. I did it and finished and went. Took a taxi. Fortunately, I came out, there was a taxi. I was slightly late but they should have disallowed me, but they said no, given my circumstances, they allowed me. So I wrote the papers, A-level papers privately, and I passed. So I was admitted to KNUST. They didn't give me the civil or mechanical or electrical. They gave me what we then called chemical technology.
Okay.
And later on, it was converted to chemical engineering.
Okay.
Yes, so we were the first batch of chemical engineering students to graduate. No, we were the second. We were in the second batch.
That was which year?
This was in 77.
Okay.
77 that I graduated. So I graduated. And then I got to there and student politics jumped in. Again, my teachers were mainly whites from France. The chemical engineering department was mainly of French technologies, lecturers. So they used to call me to dinner and all that. And they would say that, but you are such a good student, but you are spending all your time on this politics. Can't you just slow down and do the course first? I said, I will do that. So, but I spent a lot of the time on we caused trouble for Achampong and all that. I used to tell people that I now regret, because Achampong was one of the best leaders we had in terms of compassion and so on, except that he was naive. He was not trained to be a politician. He was trained as a soldier. And he did not transition properly from military to politics. So he was doing things on the face of things, you know. If you went to him, a lady went to him and was crying for assistance, he could just sign a car for you. And those things affected him.
Okay.
But anyway, we gave a lot of trouble. I became National Secretary of the National Union of Ghana Students. And then my president